Hi guys, I'm back. Today I'm going to read Deuteronomy 4-9, Proverbs 25, and Psalm 118. Let's get started. And now, Israel, listen to the statutes and the rules that I am teaching you, and do them, that you may live, and go and take possession of the land that the Lord, the God of your fathers, is giving you. You shall not add to the word that I command you, nor take from it, that you may keep the commandments of the Lord your God that I command you. Your eyes have seen what the Lord did at Baal-peor, for the Lord your God destroyed from among you all the men who followed the Baal-peor, and you had fast to the Lord your God alive today. See, I have taught you statutes and rules, as the Lord you my God commanded me. See, that you should do them in the land that you are entering to take possession of it. Keep them and do them, so that will be your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the peoples, who, when they hear all these statutes, will say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what great nation is there that has a God so near to it as the Lord our God is to us? Wherefore we call upon it. And what great nation is there that has statutes and rules so righteous as all this laws that I set before you today? Only take care and keep it so diligently, lest you forget the things that your eyes have seen, and lest they depart from your heart all the days of your life. Make them known to your children and your children's children, how on the day that you stood before the Lord your God at Horeb, the Lord said to me, allow the people to me, that I may let them hear my word, so that they may learn to fear me all the days that they live in the earth, and that they may teach their children so. And you came near and stood at the foot of the mountain. Now the mountain met with fire to the heart of heaven, wrapped in darkness, cloud, and gloom. And the Lord spoke to it out of the midst of the fire. You heard the sound of words, but saw no form. There was only a voice, and he declared to you his covenant, when he commanded you to perform. That is the 10 Commandments. And he wrote them on 2 tablets of stone. And the Lord commanded me at that time to teach you statutes and rules, that you might do them in the land that you are going into to possess. Therefore watch yourself very carefully, since you saw no form on the day that the Lord spoke to you at Horeb out of the midst of the fire. Beware lest you act corruptly by making a carved image for yourselves, and the form of any figure, the likeness of male or female, the likeness of any animal that is on the earth, the likeness of any winged bird that flies in the air, the likeness of anything that creeps on the ground, the likeness of any fish that is in the water under the earth. And beware lest you raise your eyes to heaven, and when you see the sun and moon and the stars, all the host of heaven, you be drawn away and bow down to them, and serve them, things that the Lord your God has allotted to all the people from under the whole heaven. Yet the Lord has taken you and brought you out of the iron furnace, out of Egypt, to be a people of his own inheritance, as you are this day. Furthermore, the Lord was angry with me because of you, and he swore that I should not cross the Jordan, and that I should not enter the good land that the Lord your God is giving you for an inheritance. For I must die in this land. I must not go over the Jordan, and you shall go over and take possession of that good land. Take care lest you forget the covenant of the Lord your God, which he made with you, and make a carved image in the form of anything that the Lord your God has forbidden you. And the Lord your God is consuming God, fire, a just God. When you father children and children's children, and a grown old in the land, if you act corruptly by making a carved image in the form of anything, and by doing what is evil in the sight of the Lord your God, so as to provoke him to anger, I call heaven and earth to witness against you today, that you will soon utterly perish from the land. How you are going over the Jordan to possess, you will not live long in it, but will be utterly destroyed. And the Lord will scatter you among the peoples, but you'll be left few in number among the nations, where the Lord will drive you. And there you will serve gods of wood and stone, the work of your own hands, that neither see nor hear nor eat nor smell. But from there you will seek the Lord your God, and will find him, if you search after him with all your heart and with all your soul. Then you are in tribulation, and all these things come from you. In the latter days you will return to the Lord your God, and obey his voice. For the Lord your God is a merciful God. He will not leave you or destroy you or forget the covenant with your father that he swore to them. For us now, the days that have passed, which were before you, since the day that God created man on earth, and us from one end of heaven to the other. Whether such a great thing as this has ever happened or was ever heard of. Did any people ever hear the voice of a God speaking out of the midst of the fire, as you and still live? Or has any God ever attempted to go and take a nation for himself from the midst of another nation, by trials, by signs, by wonders, and by war? a mighty hand and an outstretched arm, and by great deeds of terror, and all which the Lord your God did for you in Egypt before your eyes. To you it was shown that you might know that the Lord is God. There is no other besides him. Out of heaven he let you hear his voice, and that he might discipline you. And on earth he let you see his great fire, and you heard his words out of the midst of the fire. And because he loved your fathers, and chose their offspring after them, and brought you out of Egypt with his own presence, by his great power, drove them out before you, nations greater and mightier than you, to bring you in, to give you their land as for an inheritance, as it is this day. There is therefore today, and lay in your heart that the Lord your God in heaven above, and on the earth beneath, I command you, and there is no other. Therefore you shall keep his commandments, statutes, and commandments, which I command you today, that it may go well with you and with your children after you, and that you shall prolong your days in the land that the Lord your God is giving you for all time. And Moses set apart 3 cities in the east beyond the Jordan, that the manslayers might flee there, and none who kills his neighbor unintentionally, without being at enmity with him in the past. He may flee to one of these cities and save his life. There's in the wilderness, in the tableland for the Reubenites, Ramoth and Gilead for the Gadites, and Golan in Bashan for the Manassites. And this is the law that Moses set before the people of Israel. These are the testimonies, the statutes, and the rules which Moses spoke to the people of Israel when they came out of Egypt, beyond the Jordan, in the valley opposite Beth Peor, in the land of Sihon, the king of the Amorites. They lived at Heshbon, whom Moses and the people of Israel defeated when they came out of Egypt. And they took possession of his land and the land of Og, the king of Bashan, the 2 kings of the Amorites, who lived on the east beyond the Jordan, from Arol, which is on the edge of the valley of the Arnon, as Mount Syrian, together with all the Arabah on the east side of the Jordan, as far as the sea of the Arabah, under the slopes of Pisgah. And Moses summoned all Israel and said to them, Hear, Israel, the statutes and the rules that I speak in your hearing today, and you shall learn them and be careful to do them. The Lord our God made a covenant with us in Horeb. Not with our fathers did the Lord make this covenant, but with us, who all of us are here alive today. The Lord spake with you face to face at the mountain, out of the midst of the fire. I stood between the Lord and you at that time, to declare to you the word of the Lord. But you were afraid because of the fire, and you did not go up into the mountain. You said, I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slavery. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourself a carved image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, nor that is on the earth beneath, nor that is in the water under the earth. You shall not bow down to them or serve them. For I am the Lord your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers over their children to the 3rd and 4th generation of those who hate me, who show steadfast love, thousands of those who love me and keep my commandments. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless who takes his name in vain. Observe the Sabbath day, and keep it holy, as the Lord your God commanded me. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the 7th day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, you and your son or your daughter, or your male servant or your female servant, or your ox or your donkey or any of your livestock, or the sojourner who is within your gates, and your male servant and your female servant may rest as well as you. And you shall remember that you were a slave in the land of Egypt, and the Lord your God brought you out from here with a mighty hand and outstretched arm. Therefore the Lord your God commanded you to keep the Sabbath day. Honor your father and your mother, that is the Lord commanded you, and your days may be long, and it may go well with you in the land that the Lord your God has given you. You shall not murder, and you shall not commit adultery, and you shall not steal, and you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor, and you shall not covet your neighbor's wife, and you shall not desire your neighbor's house, his field, or his male servant, or his female servant, his ox, or his donkey, or anything that is your neighbor's. These words the Lord spoke to all your assembly at the mountain, and out of the midst of the fire, the cloud, and the thick darkness, with a loud voice, and he added no more. And he wrote them on 2 tablets of stone and gave them to me. And as soon as you heard the voice out of the midst of the darkness, while the mountain was burning with fire, you came near to me, all the heads of your tribe and your elders, and you said, Behold, the Lord our God has shown us his glory and greatness, and we heard his voice out of the midst of the fire. This day we have seen God speak with man, and man is still alive. Now therefore why should we die? For this great fire will consume us. If we hear the voice of the Lord our God anymore, we shall die. For who is there of all flesh that has heard the voice of the living God, speaking out of the midst of fire, as we have, and has still lived? Hearing and hear all that the Lord our God will say, and speak to us all that the Lord our God will speak to you, and we will hear him do it. And the Lord heard your words, and you spake to me. And the Lord said to me, I have heard the words of this people, which they have spoken to you. They are right in all that they have spoken. Oh, that there is such a heart as this always, to fear me and to keep all my commandments, that it might go well with them and with their descendants forever. Go and say to them, return to your tents, while you stand here by me, and I will tell them the whole commandment. Tell you the whole commandment and the statutes and the rules, and you shall teach them, that they may do them in the land that I am giving them to possess. You shall be careful, therefore, to do as the Lord your God has commanded you. You shall not turn aside to the right hand or to the left. You shall walk in all the ways that the Lord your God has commanded you, that you may live, and it may go well with you, and that you may live long in the land that you shall possess. Now this is the commandment, the statutes and the rules that the Lord your God commanded me to teach you, that you may do them in the land which you are going over to possess, that you may fear the Lord your God, you and your son and your son's son, by keeping all his statutes and his commandments, and shall command you all the days of your life, and that your days may be long. And therefore and be careful to do them, that it may go well with you, and that you may multiply greatly, as the Lord, the God of your fathers, has promised you, and a land flowing with milk and honey. Here is the Lord our God, the Lord is one. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. And these words that I command you today shall be on your heart. You shall teach them diligently to your children, and shall talk with them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise. You shall bind them as a sign on your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. You shall write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. And the Lord your God brings you into the land that he swore to your fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give you with great and good cities that you did not build, and houses full of all good things that you did not fill, and cisterns that you did not dig, and vineyards and olive trees that you did not plant. And you eat and are full, then take care lest you forget the Lord, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slavery. It is the Lord your God you shall fear. Him you shall serve, and by his name you shall swear. You shall not go after other gods, the gods of the peoples who are around you, for the Lord your God in your midst is a jealous God, lest the anger of the Lord your God be kindled against you, and he destroy you from off the face of the earth. And you shall not put the Lord your God to the test, as you tested him in Massah. You shall diligently keep the commandments of the Lord your God, and as his testimonies and his statutes, which he has commanded you. And you shall do what is right, and get possession of the good land that the Lord swore to give to your fathers, by thrusting out all your enemies from before you, as the Lord has promised. Your son asks you in time to come, what is the meaning of the testimonies and the statutes and the rules that the Lord our God has commanded you? And then you shall say to your son, we were Pharaoh's slaves in Egypt, and the Lord brought us out of Egypt with a mighty hand. And the Lord showed signs and wonders, great and grievous, against Egypt and against Pharaoh, and in all his household before our eyes. And he brought us from there, that he might bring us in and give us the land that he swore to give to our fathers. And the Lord commanded us to do these statutes, to fear the Lord our God, for our good always, that he might preserve us alive, as we are this day, and there will be righteousness for us, if we are careful to do all this commandment before the Lord our God, as he has commanded us. And the Lord your God brings you into the land that you are entering to take possession of it, and it clears away many nations before you, the Hittites, the Girgashites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, the Jebusites, 7 nations more numerous and mightier than you. And when the Lord your God gives them over to you, and you defeat them, then you must devote them to complete destruction. You shall not make no covenant with them, and show no mercy to them. You shall not intermarry with them, giving your daughters to their sons, or taking their daughters for our sons. For they will turn away from your sons from following me, to serve other gods, and the anger of the Lord will be kindled against you, and he will destroy you quickly. But thus you shall deal with them. You shall break down their altars and dash in pieces their pillars, and chop down their asherim, and burn their carved images with fire. For you are people holy to the Lord your God, and the Lord your God has chosen you to be a people for his treasured possession, out of all the peoples who are on the face of the earth. It was not because you were more in number than any other people that the Lord set his love on you and chose you, for you were the fewest of all peoples. It is because the Lord loves you and is keeping the oath that he swore to your fathers. That the Lord has brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you from the house of slavery, from the hand of Pharaoh king of Egypt. Know therefore that the Lord your God is God, is a faithful God who keeps covenant and steadfast love with those who love him and who hate him. I destroying them. He will not be slack with one who hates him. He will repay him to his face. You shall therefore be careful to do the commandments and the statutes and the laws that I command you today. And because you listen to these laws and keep and do, the Lord your God will keep with you the covenant and the steadfast love that he swore to your fathers. He will love you, bless you, and multiply you. He will also bless the fruit of your womb and the fruit of your ground, and your grain and your wine and your oil, and increase of your herbs and the young of your flock. In the land that he swore to your fathers to give you, you shall be blessed above all peoples. There shall not be male or female barren among you or among your livestock. And the Lord will take away from you all sickness, and none of the evil diseases of Egypt, which you knew, will inflict on you, but he will lay them on all who hate you, and you shall consume all the peoples that the Lord your God will give over to you. I shall not pity them, neither shall you serve their gods, for that will be a snare to you. If you say in your heart, these nations are greater than I, how can I dispossess them? You shall not be afraid of them, but you shall remember what the Lord your God did to Pharaoh and to all Egypt, the great trials that your eyes saw, the signs, the wonders, the mighty hand, and the outstretched arm. I wish the Lord your God brought you out. So will the Lord your God judge to all the peoples of which you are afraid. However, the Lord your God will set hornets among them, until those who are left and hide themselves from you are destroyed. You shall not be in dread of them, for the Lord your God is in your midst, a great and awesome God. The Lord your God will clear away these nations before you little by little. You may not make an end of them at once, lest the wild beasts grow too numerous for you. But the Lord your God will give them over to you and throw them into great confusion until they are destroyed. And he will give their kings into your hand, and shall make their name perish from under heaven. No one shall be able to stand against you until you have destroyed them. The carved images of their gods you shall burn with fire. You shall not covet the silver or the gold that is on them, or take it for yourself, lest you be ensnared by it. For it is an abomination to the Lord your God. And you shall not bring an abominable thing into your house, and then become devoted to destruction. Like it, you shall utterly detest and abhor, for it is devoted to destruction. The whole commandment that I command you today, you shall be careful to do, that you may live and multiply, and go and possess the land that the Lord swore to give to your fathers. And you shall remember the whole way that the Lord your God has led you these 40 years in the wilderness, that he might humble you, testing you to know what was in your heart, and whether you would keep his commandments or not. And he humbled you and let you hunger and fed you with manna, which you did not know, nor did your fathers know, that he might make you know that man does not live by bread alone, but man lives by every word that comes from the mouth of the Lord. Your clothing did not wear out on you, and your foot did not swell these 40 years. Know then in your heart that as a man disciplines his son, the Lord your God disciplines you. So you shall keep the commandments of the Lord your God by walking in his ways, and by fearing him. For the Lord your God is bringing you into a good land, a land of brooks of water, of fountains and springs, flowing out in the valleys and hills, and a land of wheat and barley, of vines and fig trees and pomegranates, a land of olive trees and honey, a land in which you eat bread without scarcity, in which you lack nothing, a land whose stones are iron, and out of whose hills you can dig copper. And you shall eat and be full, and you shall bless the Lord your God for the good land he has given you. Take care lest you forget the Lord your God, but not keeping his commandments and his rules and his statutes, which I command you today. Lest when you have eaten and are full and have built good houses and live in them, and when your herds and flocks are multiplied, and your silver and gold is multiplied, and all that you have is multiplied, then your heart will be lifted up, and you forget the Lord your God, and who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slavery, who led you through the great and terrifying wilderness, with fiery serpents and scorpions and thirsty ground where there was no water, who brought you water out of a flinty rock, who fed you in the wilderness with manna that your fathers did not know, that he might humble you and test you, to do you good in the end. And aware lest you say in your heart, my power and the mind of my hand has gotten me this wealth. You shall remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you power to get wealth, that he may confirm his covenant that he swore to your fathers, as it is in this day. And if you forget the Lord and go after other gods and serve them and worship them, I solemnly warn you today that you shall surely perish. And like the nations that the Lord makes to perish before you, so you shall be perished, because you would not obey the voice of the Lord your God. Here it is, you have to cross over the Jordan today to go and to dispossess nations greater and mightier than you, cities great and fortified up to heaven, with people great and tall, the sons of the Anak, whom you know, and of whom you heard it said, who can stand before the sons of Anak? Know therefore today that he goes over before you as a consuming fire. He is the Lord your God. He will destroy them and subdue them before you. So you shall drive them out and make them perish quickly, as the Lord has promised you. Do not say in your heart, as the Lord your God has thrust them out before you. And it is because of my righteousness that the Lord brought me in to possess this land. Whereas it is because of the wickedness of these nations that the Lord is driving them out before you. Not because of your righteousness or the uprightness of your heart are you going in to possess that land, but because of the wickedness of these nations, the Lord your God is driving them out from before you. And that he may confirm the word that the Lord spoke to you, swore to your father, to Abraham, Isaac, and to Jacob. Therefore, the Lord your God is not giving you this good to possess because of the righteousness, for you are stubborn people. Remember, you don't know, do not forget how you provoked your God to wrath in the woods. On the day that you came out of the land of Egypt, until you came to this place, you have been rebellious against the Lord. You have not horribly provoked the Lord to wrath, and the Lord was so angry with you that he was ready to destroy you. And I went up the mountain to receive the tablets of stone, the tablets of the covenant that the Lord made with you. I remained on the mountain 40 days and 40 nights. And I neither ate bread nor drank water, and the Lord gave me the 2 tablets of stone, written with the finger of God. And on them were all the words that the Lord has spoken with you on the mountain out of the midst of the fire on the day of the assembly. And at the end of 40 days and 40 nights, the Lord gave me the 2 tablets of stone, the tablets of the covenant. And the Lord said to me, Arise, go down quickly from here, for your people whom you have brought from Egypt have acted corruptly. They have turned aside quickly out of the way that I commanded them. They have made themselves a metal image. Furthermore, the Lord said to me, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stubborn people. Let me alone, that I may destroy them and blot out their name from under heaven. And I will make you of you a nation mightier and greater than they. So I turned and came down the mountain, and the mountain was burning with fire, and the 2 tablets of the covenant were in my 2 hands. And I looked, and behold, you had sinned against the Lord your God. You had made yourselves a golden calf. You had turned aside quickly from the way that the Lord commanded you. So I took hold of the 2 tablets and threw them out of my 2 hands and broke them before your eyes. Then I lay prostrate before the Lord for 40 days and 40 nights. I neither ate bread nor drank water because of all the sin that you had committed. In doing what was evil in the sight of the Lord to provoke him to anger. For I was afraid of the anger and hot displeasure that the Lord bore against you, so that he was ready to destroy you. But the Lord listened to me that time also. And the Lord was so angry with Aaron that he was ready to destroy him. And I prayed for Aaron also at the same time. And I took the sinful thing, the calf that he had made, and burned it with fire and crushed it, grinding it very small, until the finest dust. And I threw the dust of it into the brook and ran down from the Tabor also, and at Massa and Kibbutz Tabor. You provoked the Lord to wrath, and the Lord sent you from Kadesh Barnea, saying, Go up and take of the Lord your God. And you did not believe him or obey his voice. You have been rebellious against the Lord from the day that I knew you. So I lay prostrate before you on these 40 days and 40 nights, because the Lord has said that he would destroy you. And I prayed to the Lord, O Lord God, do not destroy the people in your heritage, whom you have redeemed through your greatness, whom you have brought out of Egypt with a mighty hand. Remember your servants Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Do not regard the stubbornness of this people, or their wickedness, or their sin. That's the land from which he brought us safe, because the Lord was not able to bring them into the land that he promised them, and because he hated them, he has brought them out to put them to death in the wilderness. For they are your people and your heritage, whom you brought out by your great power, and by your outstretched arm. And at that time the Lord said to me, Cut for yourself 2 tablets of stone like the first, and come up to me on the mountain, and make an ark of wood, and I will write them in the ark. Proverbs 24. Proverbs 25. These artists are Proverbs of Solomon, which the man has a king of Judah copied. It is the glory of God to conceal things, but the glory of the kings is to search things out. As the heavens are height and the earth with depth, so the heart of kings is unsearchable. Take away the dross from the silver, and the smith has material for a vessel. Take away the wicked man from the presence of the king, and his throne will be established in righteousness. Do not put yourself forward in the king's presence, nor stand in the place of the great. For it is better to be told, come up here, than to be put lower in the presence of a neighbor. What your eyes have seen, do not hastily bring into court. What will you do in the end when your neighbor puts you to shame? Argue a case with your neighbor himself, and do not reveal another secret, lest he should bring shame upon you, and your ill repute have no end, and what least fitly speak. They are like apples of gold in a sitting of silver, like a gold ring or an ornament of gold. Is a wife reprover to a listening ear, like a cold of snow in the time of harvest. It is a faithful messenger to those who send him. He refreshes the soul of his masters, like clouds and the wind without rain. As a man who boasts of a gift he does not give. With patience the ruler may be persuaded, and a soft tongue will break a bone. If you have found honey, eat only enough, lest you have your fill of it and vomit it. Let your foot be seldom in your neighbor's house, lest you have his fill if he yet hate you. A man who bears false witness against his neighbor is like a wool club or a sword or a sharp arrow. Trusting in a treacherous man in time of trouble is like a bad tooth or a foot that slips. Whoever sings songs to a heavy heart is like one who takes off a garment on a cold day, and like vinegar on soda. If your enemy is hungry, give him bread to eat, and if he is thirsty, give him water to drink. If you will keep burning coals on his head, then the Lord will reward. The north wind breaks forth rain, and a bite biting tongue, angry lips. It is better to live in a corner of the house than in a house shared with a cross and wife, like cold water to a thirsty soul. As though it's good news for a far country, like a mighty stream or a polluted flame, is a righteous man who gives way before the wicked. It is not good to eat much honey, nor is it glorious to seek one's own glory. A man without self-control is like a city broken into and left without walls. Psalm 118. I give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his steadfast love endures forever. Let Israel say, his steadfast love endures forever. Let the house of Aaron say, his steadfast love endures forever. Let those who fear the Lord say, his steadfast love endures forever. Out of my distress I called to the Lord. The Lord answered me and set me free. The Lord is on my side, I will not fear. What can man do to me? The Lord is on my side as my helper, and I shall look in triumph on those who hate me. It is better to take refuge in the Lord than to trust in man. It is better to take refuge in the Lord than to trust in princes. For when they shall surround me, in the name of the Lord I cut them off. And they surrounded me on every side. In the name of the Lord I cut them off. They surrounded me like beasts. They went out like a fire among thorns. In the name of the Lord I cut them off. I was pushed hard so that I was falling. But the Lord helped me. The Lord is my strength and my song. He has become my salvation. Glad songs of salvation are in the tents of the righteous. And the right hand of the Lord does valiantly. The right hand of the Lord exalts. The right hand of the Lord does valiantly. I shall not die, but I shall live, and will recount the deeds of the Lord. The Lord has disciplined me severely, but he has not given me over to death. Open to me the gates of righteousness, that I may enter through them, and give thanks to the Lord. This is the gate of the Lord. The righteous shall now enter into it, through it. And I thank you that you have answered me, and I have become my salvation. The stone that the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. This is the Lord's doing. It is marvelous in our eyes. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Save us, we pray, and Lord, we pray, give us success. Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. May he bless you in the house of the Lord. The Lord is God, and he has made his light to shine upon us. Line the terrestrial sacrifice with cords up to the horns of the altar. You are my God, and I will give thanks to you. You are my God, I will extol you. I give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his steadfast love endures forever. Now thus stunned, I should add to the Lord's prayer. Please pray, our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, for as you have also forgiven our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. See you tomorrow. Bye.